Acceleration. Okay. So, acceleration. What is it? Well, it's the change of velocity with respect to time. What is that in English, right? So, what creates acceleration? Or what is it, first of all? A changing velocity, as opposed to a changing speed, is what creates acceleration. And basically what that is if you measure how far you're going over a period of time, that is velocity. Well, you take that velocity and you measure how fast you're increasing that velocity or decreasing that velocity. That is acceleration. Okay, so you're at a stoplight. Okay, you're at a stoplight. This plumb bob will represent us at a stoplight. Okay, and it's time to go. All right, it's time to start moving forward, and you decide to really put your foot on the pedal. Okay, so watch closely as the plumb bob reacts to moving forward. Okay, as we began moving forward at a high rate of speed, the plumb bob began to point backwards. Okay, reacting to the increase in velocity. It was wanting to stay there. It was wanting to stay at its original position. Okay, if we move a little bit slower, less acceleration, it just moves right along. It is not affected. Okay? All right? If we increase our acceleration, increase our velocity over a short period of time, we increase our acceleration. Okay? Now say that you're coming up to something in the road and you need to stop. Okay? You need to stop very abruptly. Okay? Then you're moving along, and you stop suddenly, and as you can see, this plumb bob, we'll do it again very closely. We're moving along, and we have to put on our brakes. The plumb bob begins to point forward. The plumb bob wants to keep moving in the rate that it was already moving in, but you put a stop to it, and it wants to continue moving in that direction. Okay? All right. What unit is acceleration measured in using meters and seconds? So we know that velocity is meters per second. Well, we're changing our velocity, so over a period of time. So it's meters per second every second. Okay? We also see that as meters per second squared, or meters per second per second. Okay? All right. So what is average acceleration? Average acceleration is average velocity divided by the total time. And we saw in the previous video how we get average velocity or average speed. Okay? Average acceleration is average velocity divided by total time. Okay, and what is uniform acceleration? Uniform acceleration is basically a constant acceleration in one direction, right? So if something is accelerating at 25 meters per second every second, then let's put that on the board and see how that reacts. We're increasing our velocity at 25 meters per second every second. That means after the first second, we would be going at 25 meters per second. After number 2 second, we would be going 25 times 2. At the third second, we would be going at 75 meters per second, and at the fourth second, we would be traveling at 100 meters per second. That is an acceleration of 25 meters per second, or 25 meters per second squared. Okay? That is uniform, that is an example of uniform acceleration, traveling at 1 unit of acceleration. It is also one value that keeps us on the ground. Things fall to the earth at 9.81 meters per second every second. So until they reach their terminal velocity. So you drop something out of a building, you can expect for it to increase in velocity every second until it hits the ground, generally. Okay? Depending on how tall the building is. You need to go pretty high for most things to reach a terminal velocity. Okay, that answers our questions, and that is it. Thank you very much, and we'll look forward to the next video.